Hi everyone, it's Hatsy and I'm back with a interior build of this mansion that I built 2 weeks ago now. But it's been 2 weeks. In fact, that's not even like a long time for me to share the interior to a mansion because, okay, these interiors take me a ridiculously long time to do, and not just that, it takes me a crazy amount of time to even edit it because the footage was everywhere for this build because I did it on stream. So it wasn't like I was just, you know, just dabbling and just like having all the files together or anything. No, it was a whole separate like video recording thing in all different places. I'm not making any sense, but it's really late when I'm recording this. It is like, wow, 12:15. And the mansion is for a friend of mine, ex-Urban Sims, aka Jen. I of course don't call ex-Urban Sims. Can you imagine if I called all my friends by their usernames? That would just be the worst friendship. I'm sorry. That's when you know that it's a fake friendship. Like if somebody calls their friend by the username, like seriously though, I mean sometimes it's kind of like a joke, but if it's a serious thing and they're like, oh yeah, Hatsy, good friend of mine, it's just like, no, I'm actually Hatty. Hello. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I don't go by Hatsy in real life. Well, I mean, I do. I don't mind Hatsy. I think it's more of a big deal for other people. Like, for instance, okay, if I call my friend Molly, like, the English simmer to her face, and that's the only thing I address her by, or, like, Stepho Sims, like, to her face, I'm sorry. Can you imagine? I feel like that friendship would be over pretty quickly. No, actually, it probably wouldn't. They'd probably just keep me around and they'd just smile every time I said it, like, every time I addressed them. But that's the thing. That's when you know. But it's always, like, an awkward conversation to have with someone, actually. Like, hey, what do I call you? Because no one ever asks me. That's the thing. Like, I've had some really weird situations where I feel like people have wanted to ask me, is it Hattie or is it Hatsy? But people haven't. So, like, often it's kind of like acquaintances will be like, Hatsy, and we'll all be at the table or something. Because, okay, let's say I go out for a meal with like EA or like whatever. They'll be like, Hatsy, pass the salt, please. And it's so funny because I'm there, and it's just like, bless you, I'm not Hatsy, I'm Hatsy. But hey, I don't mind. Like, I really don't mind. But the reason why I was Hatsy, the reason why I'm not Hatsy, is because Hattie is too broad, too much of a name that many people have. And for me to try and claim the name Hattie, that's like me trying to claim the name, I don't know, Emma or Abby, like, you know, popular girl names in the UK anyway. But that's basically it. And if I was going to turn like Hattie into a brand thing, like actually like, you know, think about merch in the future and stuff, then it would have to be Hatsy, because it's, well, I mean, there is a company called Hatsy, which I don't really get. Like, it kind of like pops up every now and again, and I think, wow, you're Hatsy, and I'm Hatsy, and it's really confusing because you're a hat company. I don't really understand it, but hey, like, each their own. Maybe it's because I'm biased, and I feel like I'm the only Hatsy. I know, it's selfish, but that's it. I mean, I've heard of people getting jealous for, like, other people using their name. You know, for instance, my best friend's called Belle, and, like, she'll get ridiculously jealous or, like, annoyed if somebody else is called Belle because she's kind of the only Belle. That's that's how I feel about that. And it's just, yeah, it's not jealousy, it's just like, oh, I'm the only Belle. So, I don't know, it's me being a bit, you know, bias and me being like, well, I'm the only Hatsy. No, I don't want to do that, but I think you get the point. I think everyone feels a bit like that. Yeah. So that's that. That is me on the name Hatsy. But you can call me either. I don't mind. I genuinely don't. I mean, like, it's just my username because if I, like, again, if I want to get sort of Instagram label, what do you call it? Not a label? Well, username, basically, on, like, Twitter and stuff like that. Like, Hattie, it's going to be taken. So is Hattie YouTube. But Hatsy YouTube? Nope. I seem to get that everywhere. Can't get Hatsy though, and that's because there's another Hatsy out there. I've been through this. I feel like I'm going around in circles now. But anyway, this was what we were building on stream, and it was very funny at this point. Like, I definitely recommend watching the stream back, because at this point I was on the phone to Ollie and also Steph. So the Orion sound, I'm the worst. And Steph Sims, of course. Not that I call them the usernames, but yeah, they joined me. And then there was this big rivalry between the Snap Pack and the Biscuit Boys, and it all kicked off during stream. And then it got really petty. We were like banning each other from stream stuff. It was all a bit of fun. It's entertaining. It's a bit of a laugh. And then we were all like laughing and joking on Discord after. So if you're not sure who the Biscuit Boys are, it's me, Steph, and Ollie. And I feel like there's someone else in there. I think Molly's in the Biscuit Boys. I think so. And then in the Snap Pack, there's Jack, there's Kayla, and Sasha as well, which I was very bitter about. I was very, very bitter that we lost Sasha to the Snap Pack. But hey, there we go. You win some, you lose some. And I lost dearly. And I was very upset about that. Because I really wanted the Sasha in the Biscuit Boys. But that's it. So, a bit of friendly rivalry. And we played some Jackbox after. Not on stream. This was like off stream. But yeah, just so you know, like it's a bit of fun. And yeah, that's just something that happens every now and then, I guess. But it was very, very funny. I loved it. It was actually, I think it was more funny to see how seriously people sort of thought that the argument was, which was actually quite sad in a way, because like I was having to block people on my stream, and like so was Kayla and Jack, who were streaming as well. Like apparently, you know, there was some people that were taking it way, way, way too far. Which I'd say, like, if anything ever happens like that again, you know, please just like keep it friendly and keep it like lighthearted, because we're all friends. It's all a bit of lightheartedness, and to be fair, I'm pretty sure that all the YouTube drama that you see isn't actually serious, to be honest. And it was just a bit of a mick take. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but yeah. There was this one guy, I say guy, I don't even know. I think he had a name like Michael, but he tweeted at me or something like that, I can't remember. But Michael with like no profile picture or whatever, tweeted something so just like serious at me, and it was like, I can't believe you do this. You spent the whole stream just attacking your friend, and that's the reason why like I'm unsubbing from you. And it was like this drastic post. But the thing is, this was beyond a joke. Like this Michael guy, he took it deadly seriously. Like I can imagine him watching these streams just like shaking his head like, these girls, honestly, how dare they? How dare they do this? I'm done with this. I'm done with this mess. So that's what I imagine Michael to be doing. It was funny, but it was also like, oh, really? Like, I mean, this isn't serious. Like, we're friends. We're very, very good friends. This isn't a real argument. And then there were people like commenting on some like random videos of mine the next day being like, did Hattie fall out with Kayla? Or like, did Hattie fall out with Jack? Or like, did Jack fall out with such and such? And it's just like, no. It's a bit of a joke. But yeah, that's it. So talking about what I've been up to today, because that was like old news. That was a while ago now. And I kind of want to keep this like super relevant. And I have a lot of time to vent. Okay. So let me talk about my London trip, because that's kind of been the reason why I've been a bit behind on videos. Well, I was invited to a surprise party of one of James's friends. So James has a lot of gaming friends, and if you don't know who James is my husband, and yeah, like he plays mainly like League of Legends. He played Black Desert, but he fell out with them, and rightly so. Black Desert really don't seem to respect their community, and I was very disappointed at the way that they treated him. Basically, there was a mistake with his account. They accused him of doing something which he didn't do, like 100% did not do. And then he messaged them about it. Like, bear in mind, he got invited to Gamescom because like he had a channel at one point and he was like posting videos, and they were just like, no, can't help you, no, your account's gone, etc. And it's just like, whoa. Like, whoa, you invite him to Gamescom? Like, he had a reasonable number of subscribers as well, because like, okay, he hasn't posted in a while, but I think he's gonna like post again at some point. He had like a reasonable number of subscribers, and like, you know, for Black Desert, because it's not a popular game, to be honest. I mean, like, okay, it probably is, but as in like in the YouTube world, not really. And I think that a lot of the main people that were doing Black Desert videos had quit, and they were just like, hey, we'd love you to come, etc. But as soon as he has a problem with his account, they're just like, nope, sorry, goodbye. I don't know. It was annoying. So yeah, I'm shading them hugely. I don't like them, and I'm not going to get into Black Desert again probably because I was annoyed at that. And I actually made a Black Desert video, which is a shame because I won't share it now just out of principle, because I don't want to promote the game. Anyway, he's been playing other games, and he has been like still keeping his community that he's built up from there, because I think he had a guild and he was like the main guild leader, I don't know. But he has all these friends online, and we occasionally see them, but they mainly just like talk every night, just like me and my friends online, like we talk every single day. He does exactly the same with his, like he's upstairs talking to like his friends, and they're all very close. So they're all married as well, which is really helpful because like we can all go out and we can do like couple things, which is great. So one of his best friends had a surprise party that he didn't know about, and his wife organised it, and she was like, hey, like Hattie, you know, can you come down to London, etc., and like get James there? And of course, me being me, I completely forgot about it. So James had to really like organise the whole thing for me. It was really bad, but that's just because I always say this, I'm always busy. There isn't a point where I'm not busy because I'm always like making stuff to do. I'm the only one that like deals with the house stuff, and like then I've got my fitness stuff as well. Like, I don't know, I'm spinning a lot of plates. I always say that, but it's true. And when I start opening up and making more vlogs, like real life vlogs, which I'm going to be starting tomorrow because now I know how to work my new camera, which is another topic. Yeah, there's a lot. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, so she invited me and James to go to this surprise thing in London, and there was, I think, probably like 4 or 5 couples there, so it was like, you know, quite a big thing. Okay, and we went to this escape rooms, which is basically where you have to escape a room, and we're split into teams. There's the girls and the boys, and then like we're trying to escape in the room like as fast as we can, and then the guys are, which I'll explain a bit. So the whole London trip was an absolute disaster, because I said to James, I was like, we should get the car out. You don't say that, do you? Just you say we should drive. Like, that's probably what I said. I didn't say we should get the car out. But yeah, I said to him, let's drive, and he was like, no, we're gonna get the train. So I was like, please no, please don't make me get the train on a Saturday in the middle of winter. This isn't going to go well. Like, there's always a match on as well. There's always some random football match on, and it just ruins everything because there are just like randomers out on the street that get smashed and that just make it so unpleasant to be around on the way back on the train. I hate it. I hate being intimidated by random drunk people. It's the worst. So I was just like, please no, don't do this to me. But he was like, no, we're getting the train. So what do you think happened? Okay, well, we arrived at the train station. We ended up going from Rugby, which I don't understand why we did, but we did. So we parked the car, we got in, and the ticket machine wasn't working. We had like 15 minutes to get our train tickets. So I was like, okay, cool, we've got enough time. It didn't work. Was broken, of course, because it's the UK. Like, they don't look after their public transport. So anyway, we ended up standing and waiting at the electronical machine, which is like where somebody, I don't know how to describe it. There's like a glass wall, and then I don't know, it feels a bit like a prison. There's like someone else on the other side with a computer, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll get your tickets for you. So there's like 2 or 3 people behind these glass windows typing and whatnot. And of course the queue's full. Of course it is. And of course there's people faffing, like with these people that are behind the glass walls and they're like typing on the computers, and they're asking them like ridiculous questions, and I'm getting so frustrated because we've got 15 minutes and I'm waiting in this queue, and it's like there's 3 possible windows that we could have gone to collect our tickets, but yet we were waiting for like 3 different dimwits to finish talking about like, when's the next train? Oh, why is the price gone up? why is this happening? Why is that happening? Like, just having a random general conversation with the people behind the glass, and it's just like, are you joking? We have trains to catch. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have, like, whatever you have on your schedule, obviously. Like, I have a busy life. You might not. You might enjoy coming to train stations and talking to random people behind glass, but that's not for me, I'm afraid. So I was slightly irritated, you can probably tell by now. But anyway, I stood in the queue and it took, guess how long? 15 minutes it took to get served. And by that point, we missed the train. Okay, so then we get the tickets and we have to wait like another 30 minutes until the next train. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is just ridiculous, but okay. And like, as I'm going through the barrier is also broken. It's the most annoying thing. Anyway, the next train that we get was absolutely packed to the point where we couldn't even get on it. So we had to like run down to the very end and cram ourselves into the last carriage. And I was standing for about 2 hours on the train in heels. In heels, friends. I was in heels. Sorry, let me just add that fact in. Can you imagine standing on the train for 2 hours because you can't get a seat? In heels. My feet were a mess. Honestly. I'm surprised I didn't look like Mr. Wiggles like when I took my shoes off, because I felt like him. You know, what do you call them? The Mr. characters? The one that's got like wiggly legs? Yeah, okay, anyway. It was very bad. Very shocking display. Unfortunately, no live footage was caught, but I think you're probably thankful for that because I wouldn't insert it in the video anyway. So we get to London, and then what happens? We order an Uber, and then the Uber turns up, but like it's across the other side of the train station, so we have to like walk all the way across through like floods of people, and then we get in the Uber eventually, like after waiting for a bit in the freezing cold, and then we go to this random place and we get out the Uber and the Uber drives off, but then we figure out, oh, we're in the wrong place. So we have to wait like another 20 minutes for the same Uber to circle around and come and pick us up again. It was the most awkward thing ever. It was like, oh, I saw you 20 minutes ago and I dropped you off here and now you're back. So yeah, long story short, we got there and it was actually really fun. So the escape rooms was like this place that you go into and yeah, you escape from. You have to do like really weird tasks. And it's all about like little minor details. Okay, so the plot was that there's this bad guy, like a evil baddie called Mr. Black Sheep, and it's literally like a black sheep dressed as a grandma or something. And it's like a secret agent company, and you're trying to take him down. And basically, like, he's trying to like take over the world with his mind control. And then like you go into this room, and like you're trying to deactivate the mind control rocket, but then you've also got to leave the room in 60 minutes, otherwise you lose. And it's only like 30 to 40% of people that pass, because it's hard, like it's seriously hard. You have to pick up on like minor details, and you have a walkie-talkie, and like people can sort of tell you, well, not people, like there's a person on the other end who actually works there, who can give clues, but the more clues you get, the worse it is. You don't want to have clues. You want to do it by yourself, because then at the end when you come out, they're like, hey, yeah, you passed, but you got this many clues. So it's kind of cheating, so you don't want the clues. You want to be able to solve it yourself. So yeah, we were split into teams, girls and boys, and the issue, okay, this was the biggest issue ever. So the girls had so many bags, right? We had so many like items of clothing, because it was cold, it's like winter. So when we put them all into the room, we had all these like massive coats, and I had an extra pair of shoes in my bag as well, thank goodness, because I was wearing heels. So we put them all in the room and we spread them out, right? So nobody, absolutely nobody noticed the random pair of boots on the floor, because they were just like blended in with all our mess. So we were there for like the first 20 minutes trying to find this secret code, and then we had a call on the walkie-talkie, and he was like, have you checked the boots? And we're like, excuse me, which one? Because seriously, we have a selection here. And then we looked like down, and then we saw a random pair of boots in the room with us, and we were thinking, oh no, well this is terrible, because we were checking everywhere but the floor, like where we put all our bags. So that was the first thing that like caught us off. But it was really good. And I was genuinely surprised at like how helpful I was, because usually like in those kind of situations, I'm always the person that sits in the background, and I'll go along with it, I'll smile, but I'm not very good at like academic things. I've always said that. Like, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a scientist, but what I did find is, because like I remember things by photos, so like, okay, I'll see a picture of something and I remember all the things on the picture, exactly the way that they look, and that's how I learn. So at school, like, I would memorize, like, for instance, script reading. That was really helpful for me because I could like memorize the whole page and how it looked of the script rather than the text, and then remember it, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was helpful because, okay, this Mr. Black Sheep, he had this like random badge on him, and I remembered the badge specifically because that's how I remember things, and everyone was like, oh, I didn't even think. And I was actually, well, I wouldn't say I was the one, but I'd say that I definitely helped in deactivating the rocket. So be proud of me. Honestly, you know, step back, Einstein. Like, hasty coming through. And no, I was excited, genuinely, because there were things on there that I was surprised that I even picked up on. Like random codes and things. It was fun though. It was all about like keys and unlocking doors and this and that, and you had to make maps. It was very exciting, but I don't want to give too much away because the thing is, if you're booking one of those, you know, adventure things, adventure trips, I don't want to just give everything away and be like, I had to do this, 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 and this is how I did it, because if you do ever want to go on something like that, I don't want to ruin it for you. But yeah, it was fun. The only thing was, they didn't have like a, what you call it, like a place where you get drinks from or anything, so we had to go like out the building, which was ridiculous because they'd make so much money if they had a little place there, like a little bar area where you could just like go and get yourself a little drink or like a Diet Coke or something, but there was nothing. So yeah, okay, that's my rant anyway. And it was just freezing, to be honest. It was like freezing cold. We had to walk everywhere. That was the only thing about London, so that's why I was really tired yesterday, because yesterday was Sunday when I'm recording this because today's Monday. But yeah, so after we left the escape rooms, we had to walk like 15 minutes to then this place where we booked for food, and then we had to walk again, and we went to this e-bar, which is interesting. So I've never actually been to an e-bar before, but it's like a bar where you play games basically. So like you'd walk in and like people would be sat there at computers, be playing like the main one was League of Legends, which I've never played, but it was interesting to see the environment because, yeah, I don't know, I kind of expected it to be more excitable. Like if I had an e-bar, or like if I went to an e-bar and I was playing a game with my friends, I would be cheering if I won. I'd be like, yes, that's amazing, yes, let's go, let's do it. But this was really chilled. It was like, oh yes, Team A just won. You know, it was just so weirdly chilled out. Yeah. And also, like, it was 99% men. And the thing is, okay, I've always thought at the back of my head, let's say the gym is such a more predatory environment than a load of gamers. Because, I don't know, like, gaming men, I would say, like, as a general rule, like, for somebody to enjoy gaming and, like, be very, very serious at it, I'd say they're more likely to be more of an introvert. I don't know, like, I'd say that parts of me are, but I'm also an extrovert at times as well, so, like, I'm kind of both. It's more common, I'd say, like, to find that. So, you know, maybe it's the opposite, like, at a place like the gym. But yeah, I'd probably say that the gym's more of a predatory place, or, like, that's what I thought. But honestly, going there, I've never seen so many people look at me like a slice of meat, honestly. It was the worst. It was the absolute worst. And I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to go now, actually. Because it was a really weird environment. Yeah, but exciting, I guess, because I'm not used to it. Like, I'm not used to going to an e-bar, but yeah, there we go. But then I was shattered. And also, I said to James, let's go back maybe like one train earlier so that we don't have to stand again, because I felt like for the last train of the night, because the train stopped running at 9:30, but I wanted to get there about 9 so we could get the early one, because then, you know, we'd be guaranteed a seat. Were we guaranteed a seat? No, we had to stand for at least an hour before we sat down, which I think is the worst. Like, this is my second rant, I'm sorry, but like, if you're gonna buy a seat, Because bear in mind, we paid about £40 for these tickets. So that's a lot of money to pay for a seat. If you're going to pay for a seat on a train, I genuinely think that you should be given a seat. And I know that, okay, the train's full, but why can't they have more trains running? I don't think that they should be charging people for seats and then not letting people sit down or not having the space, and knowing that as well. Like, they must know that this is an issue. So yeah, like, they either need more trains or they need to put the prices up for the seats, and they need to lower the prices for standing. That's it. Have two separate prices. If you want to stand, then you pay half price, and then check as well. Because, like, I bet there are people that would pay less to stand, and there are people that would pay more to have a seat. Like, I'd genuinely pay more to have a seat, but I wouldn't pay like 3 or 4 times the price to go and sit in first class, because that's not reasonable for me. That's like I don't know. It's just not a reasonable thing, because first class is very expensive, but I'd pay a little bit more to have like a premium seat or like sit down, if that makes sense. But I feel like first class is just like too far for now anyway. But yeah, that's basically where I stand on that. But like, the thing is, UK is terrible for public transport. Like, I'd say that it's, well, probably not one of the worst countries, because I'm sure that there are countries like without public transport, but for the country that it is, for the amount of wealth that's in the UK, it is terribly, terribly poor on public transport, terribly. And it's so unpleasant to go on a British train, like, you have no idea. And I can say that because I'm used to going on like Swiss transport or German transport, and everything's just so efficient. Everything runs smoothly, and it's very rare that a train is delayed. And same with the buses as well. Like in Switzerland, I was so surprised at just how on time they are, how clean they are. And they seem to have it sorted, because there are just the right amount of buses and trains from what I can see. It's very rare. In fact, I don't think this ever happened. I don't think I ever got onto a Swiss train and there wasn't a seat for me, because there was always a seat for me. And there was always room, there was always selection as well. And I feel like that's the issue with the UK, because if you're getting a train from Birmingham to London, you know, on a Saturday, I feel like they should be running much, much, much more frequently than every 30 minutes. I don't think that's fair. Especially as there's football matches on, it feels like they're just cramming us in. You know, we're not cattle. I'm sorry. I felt like cattle, genuinely. That's basically how I was left. So, I'm sorry for that ridiculously dramatic speech, but it is true, to be honest. But apart from that, I had a lot of fun doing the interior. I feel like if I don't talk about it, there'll be people like, oh, you didn't talk about the interior once, I hate you. And yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I've just finished a 3-hour live stream, I think. And, you know, I love these videos because I can kind of talk about what I want to talk about. And there are many people that have followed my YouTube channel for a long time that know that I don't tend to stick to the topic of the build and be like, this is where we put this piece of furniture and that's where we do this. And honestly, it's because I've done it so much. Like, you've got to think, I'm mainly a Sims channel, and I explain this a lot though. I've made like, what, 300 videos, more than that. So yeah, I don't want to keep repeating it, which I think's fair. I think that it's a lot to expect somebody to repeat the same thing over and over again. But I enjoy sharing bits of my day as well, especially because I share so much online. Like, I share so much. But yeah, if you've just got here, welcome, of course. Like, I appreciate that. But yeah, this is something that happens a lot, and I'm not going to change because I'm really happy with the way that it goes. And I think it's like fairly self-explanatory, like me putting items in. But if you want to hear me talk about it a little bit more, I do talk about it on the streams, because I actually discuss like colour schemes and how I'm doing this, how I'm doing that. And you can catch all the live streams on Twitch, and you can search for it if you just type in Hatsy, the same as YouTube, and it will come up with all the past video broadcasts, and you can find them all on there, and you can go through, and yeah, there's like some stories and there's some actually me talking about the build, which I think is more helpful for me to do, but I'm not going to talk about it like twice on the same thing, because like, I've already built it and I've already like chatted about it and stuff, so there's that. But oh, also channel art. I redid my whole channel art today. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and it's been really tough for me to think about what I want for it, but I'm happy because I feel like I've came up with something that really suits me. And it might not suit me forever, but it suits me for now. And the last one that I did, I haven't changed it in probably a year, maybe more than that. And I really wanted to, I wanted to change. So I don't know how you're all going to feel about it, but yeah, you will have got to watch it live on stream, which is cool. It's really cool. I'm happy. I'm really happy with where everything's at the moment. And I did have a good time in London, but I was so demotivated yesterday, honestly. I woke up and I feel like everybody has one of these days sometimes, and you shouldn't feel bad for having them. You know, if you do have a day where you just feel like you don't want to do absolutely anything because you had such a busy day before, or the day before, there's nothing wrong with that, because everybody does. And I often, I get anxious almost if I don't do anything in the day, and I think, oh no, this is going to be me every single day. This is just what I'm going to do. I'm going to become some kind of bum, basically, where I don't do anything. And that's not how it is, because I make myself, and the next day I'll be full of energy and I'll be ready to go again. And that's me today. As long as you're prepared to pull yourself back into your routine the day after, then all is fine, honestly. So yeah, never be disheartened, never feel like it's terrible for you to take a day off, because everybody is entitled to having a day off sometimes, a day of just doing nothing. You don't even have to go out. Everyone should be able to have that at some point. And that was me yesterday, just chilling out, just not doing a single thing, basically. I slept for most of the day. It was actually really bad, because I think I woke up at 12, went to bed at 3, slept till 9, and then had those really weird dreams that I spoke about on tonight's stream. And then that was it. Woke up today. And yeah, it's been good. But we're doing another themed week this week. But we're not going to be doing it on YouTube. I'm probably going to be making normal videos and trying to do more face cam stuff as well, because a lot of you have been enjoying those ones that I've been sharing, because I don't share them very often. But it will be good. It will be exciting. Exciting week. I've got a lot planned. I'm going to be making a machinima as well, which I was planning out all the songs today. So that's going to be what I'm going to start tonight. I've been behind on them just because I made this one and then I got so demotivated by it. So I made the, what was it called? Raccoon Ruined My Life. Okay, so I've been working on that one. If you don't know, it's one that I'm making for the Wolfpack challenge. I've been making it for a very long time, but okay, I found the issue. So I have so much that I want to show in the video, but I'm trying to do it in 3 minutes for some reason. And what I need to do is I need to split it. I need to split the footage and have it spread out over 2 songs, and then do it that way. But because I've been working on it for so long, I just want to start a project in the meantime and actually finish it, rather than just map it out. I don't know, these things take a while, which you'll know, but I'm going to get one done by the end of this week, even earlier than that. So yeah, I'm setting myself a deadline. And also on my new channel art, you'll be able to see I've committed to 5 videos a week, and there may be 7 at times, but that's if I have extra videos. Yeah, if I have extra time, then I will, but guaranteed there will be 5 videos a week, and 7 if I can. But yeah, definitely committing to 5. I didn't want to put daily videos because then I was like, well, I know what I'm like, so that might not happen. But if you haven't seen it, it says videos Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. So that's what I'm going to try and do. And then yeah, there will be still videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but again, they're going to be the days that if they're not there, then okay. But if they are, then okay, great. So just watch out for that, because that's what we're going to do. But finishing off the last rooms, I'll talk about it a little bit. I'll talk about what I was trying to do for the interior as well. So the whole interior was actually inspired. I was going to say instyled, that doesn't really make sense. New word. Yeah, it was inspired off a house that I used to work, in when I was a nanny in Switzerland. The family were ridiculously fashionable, and they had this designer that came and designed the whole house for them. And I got really inspired off that, and I thought, because this is a special modern home that is for Jen's new series, I thought that would be the kind of interior that would fit it really nicely. So you'll find in it like loads of sort of medals and trophies, like whatever it is, like all over the wall. Loads of just like random achievements as well. I was really inspiring it off that. So yeah, the house that I used to work at, and also, I know this sounds really shady, and I haven't even watched the new one, okay? I don't know, it's not my thing, it's genuinely not, and I'd say if it was, because I don't think it's even that embarrassing, like it's just what some people like whatever, if it's you, then it's you. But you know the whole like 50 Shades of Grey like apartment style and all that, like how modern it is and stuff, it's really in at the moment. I watched the first film, wasn't for me, so I haven't watched the others. But yeah, if it's for you, don't be embarrassed about it, like whatever. But that's basically why I was inspiring this off as well. And a lot of people thought that it did look like Christian Grey's house or mansion, which I can't even remember, if I'm honest. Like I can remember some of it just being really ultra modern, so maybe that's where I took some inspiration from, and it kind of fits because I know that the new film's out, but I'm not going to go and see it. Anyway, that is the end of the build, so I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see all future ones. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.